Today, the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture is now called to order. Today is Wednesday, June 23rd, 2021, and the time is 10:32 a.m. Notices for this virtual confirmation hearing were disseminated via email to all senators and all main media broadcasting outlets on Wednesday, June 16 and Monday, June 21. The notice was also published in the Guam Daily Post on Wednesday, June 16 and Monday, June 21, 2021. This Zoom meeting is hosted by the legislature's MIS staff and committee staff, and I thank them for their assistance. The host will mute all Zoom participants until called upon by the chair. Individuals testifying shall first be recognized by the chair before speaking and begin by stating their name for record-keeping purposes. When called to speak, please ensure that you are unmuted. We have one agenda item, and that is the appointment of Dr. Lisa D. Flores to serve as a member of the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission for a term length of 4 years, from April 1, 2020 to March 31, 2024. I'd like to acknowledge my colleagues who have joined us this morning, beginning with the Minority Leader, Senator Cruz, Senator Anthony Ada, Senator Joanne Brown. Cesar Masi for joining us, colleagues. I'd also like to acknowledge the presence today of the nominee, Dr. Lisa Flores, also of the current chairperson of the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission, Polly Mike Crisostomo. Thank you, Polly. And members of the Attorney General's office for being here, including Deputy Attorney General Fred Nishihira and Assistant Attorney General Janice Camacho. So we will now hear testimony on behalf of the nominee and then hear from the nominee herself. I want to thank you, Dr. Flores, for your willingness to serve again on this commission. We realize this is another 4-year term, and thank you for your service on this commission, despite your busy schedule. And so we will begin with Mr. Fred Nishihira.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, but if I could have Polly Mike speak first, again, as the chairperson for CICC.
Appreciate that, and thank you. And Polly Mike, I do want you to go first, Mr. Chair, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Fred. Madam Speaker, it's a wonderful opportunity to, in full support and testimony of a good friend, Dr. Lisa. She normally sits on my left at the commission meetings, and she's my go-to, and Denise and I were very grateful for her medical background. She is a value asset to this because, as you know, many of the victims who come before the commission have medical bills and have medical challenges, and a lot of hospital bills that are really in the thousands. And Dr. Lisa has an eye for this, and thank God she's on board, because a lot of the medical terms, a lot of the procedures and things like that are indicated in some of the testimonies and receipts that we review. But she has a way of just kind of translating that and looking at it, and then just questioning victims, not questioning whether they're putting blame or but questions of clarity, which is very important, because the commission wants to understand what is it that they're going through, how is it that they're going through all of this, and how we can help them best. And so Dr. Lisa really provides that for us in the commission. I'm just grateful for her presence there. She has a very calm demeanor about herself. She's very confident in her work. I know she's challenged at times because she has her practice, and she cares a lot, and she brings passion and of course charity to the commission work. But I have no doubt that she's committed, and I know often enough she always says that she's retiring from the commission. For the three of us, we've been in this work for so long that we feel like we're ready to retire. But because of our passion for this work, and we understand the victims and those of the people that we work with, and as long as the support is there from the Office of the Attorney General, from the legislature, from the governor, we will continue to do this as long as we're able and allowed to do it. And I'm sure Dr. Lisa feels the same way. I'm sure we could be, on a vacation stay somewhere and relaxing and doing all of that. But we find comfort knowing that we're able to utilize the funds that have been allotted to be able to help people in need. And these people truly are in need. And I just thank her personally for volunteering her time and her commitment to the commission work. And I plead with the legislature, senators, please swiftly as well, with all the confidence that you have to be able to pass her nomination and her confirmation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Polly Mike, and Chairperson of the Commission. And I'd like to take this time to recognize the presence as well this morning of Senator Terlaje. Thank you, Senator, for joining us. We'll now hear from Deputy AG Fred Nishihira.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, Senators. Once again, I will read from the office from AG Camacho. Hafaday, Madam Speaker, as Attorney General of Guam, I submit testimony in support of Dr. Lisa Flores' reappointment to the CICC. Dr. Flores was first appointed to the CICC by Governor Felix Camacho on April 16, 2016, and has been reappointed by all subsequent administrations to include current Governor Lourdes A. Leon Guerrero. Statutorily, the CICC has authority to provide victims with a wide range of compensation, such as compensation for medical expenses. Requests for medical compensation often range from emergency, inpatient, and ambulatory treatments, mental health and counseling services, and dental services. During her time on the CICC, Dr. Flores has lent her expertise when reviewing requests for compensation encompassing medical diagnosis, treatment, and billing practices. It is with her unique skill set and heightened perception that the CICC has been able to ensure all requests for medical compensation and all other requests are accurately and efficiently reviewed. Furthermore, it should be said that I have witnessed Dr. Flores' thoughtful CICC decisions, temperament, and visible compassion. And for these reasons, it is without reservation that I support Dr. Flores' reappointment to the CICC, signed AG Levan Camacho. And again, I will also just testify as the deputy that oversees the employees that work with the CICC on these matters. Dr. Flores is an extremely very busy person. And so I think it goes without saying, with just like AG Camacho's testimony, is that having a medical doctor on the commission to evaluate medical claims is just invaluable. And despite her extremely busy schedule, I have seen her take time and time again. I'll give one quick example where she had to take the ethics class. She stuck with us. We worked together, and it takes a long block of time to take that course at the University of Guam. So despite the scheduling disputes, she could have easily said, you know what, I've served my time, thank you very much. But we really appreciate, and these go to all the members, but Dr. Flores, just knowing how tight her schedule is, she has made time every time for the victims and of Guam. So we appreciate her personal time that she's taking out to make it work. We've seen that time. I've also seen Dr. Flores take the helm when it comes to medical claim, and especially in the part where it's denying part of a claim. That's always the hard part, because usually, the crime is some violent crime. It involves injury. But like I said in previous testimony, that the hardest part is when you see the injured person before you and you have to deny a part, but award a certain part. So I've seen Dr. Flores kind of dissect it and say, this part of the claim we can award because of, this is all related, but this portion was a pre-existing medical condition. And she's able to communicate that in a way that I haven't seen an upset victim walk away from that process, even being told, no, we can't award that part of the claim. So, her balance is very good. It really is a very well balanced commission, and she adds a lot of value to it. So I too recommend support for Dr. Flores and thank her for her service on behalf of all victims of Guam. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thanks to the Attorney General as well for his testimony. We'll now recognize Assistant Attorney General Janice Camacho.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, and the rest of the Guam legislature. I speak in my personal capacity. As I mentioned again, however, I am legal counsel to the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission. Dr. Flores, as a physician, has been an ideal candidate for this commission. As just stated in the AG's testimony, which was just read by Deputy Attorney General Fred Nishihira, significant requests for medical compensation come before the CICC. In fact, under Guam law, the commission is able to make awards up to $20,000 in medical compensation. Dr. Flores, as a medical doctor, is able to dissect these requests, like we mentioned, like Fred just mentioned, for compensation and determine if they're justified or comport with Guam law. I strongly support her reappointment. And I'm sorry, I should not end without adding that she's a decent person. She's a decent human being. And so we'd like to see her continue on this commission, and I'm excited to continue working with her should she be reappointed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Assistant AG Camacho. We'll now hear from the nominee, Dr. Lisa Flores.
Hi, good morning. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay. Well, I'd like to thank all of those that have spoken on my behalf. It has been a struggle trying to determine whether I want to continue on this commission again, just because of the time constraints. But again, as Polly Mike, we're doing it for the victims, and that's really kind of the focus and why I've agreed to continue on. So if you guys don't mind, yes, they say I have a calm and relaxed demeanor, but certainly when you are the focal point of all of this, I'm going to go ahead and read, and we'll again open up for any questions if you had any directed towards me. Fred did mention a few things in regards to the background, so I'm going to just go ahead and read through that. I do have some of that already in the my statements. So again, just to introduce myself, I'm Dr. Lisa Flores. I'm a primary care physician working at both the SDA clinic as well as the public health clinics, primarily in Inarajan. I have been appointed by Governor Leon Guerrero to continue serving in the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission. And again, my initial appointment was back in 2006, and that was under the Camacho Moylan administration. And certainly at that time, the goal was to restart the commission, which it really wasn't functioning at that time. The request was to have, again, someone with that medical background who could certainly take time out of their busy schedule to be certainly a part of that particular team. Now, although I was confirmed by the 28th Guam legislature, the commission never became a fully functioning entity during that time. And then I was reappointed under the Camacho Cruz administration, but was unable to fill the obligations, again, because of some scheduling issues. I was asked to join the CICC under the Calvo Tenorio administration and was confirmed to serve from 2012 to 2016, and then again from 2016 to 2020. Again, a little bit more background. During Leonardo Rapadas' term as Attorney General, attempts were made to get the CICC to start reviewing the applications that had already been submitted and were sitting waiting for review. But really, it wasn't until Judge Elizabeth Barrett Anderson became the Attorney General in 2015 that the CICC was resurrected. And those that were serving at the time and continue to serve up until now included Denise Mendiola, Polly Mike Chrysostoma, and again, myself. We, under the leadership of the AG Barrett Anderson, along with dedicated staff, and I certainly applaud them, because without their assistance, we really wouldn't have the CICC. And there, we all as a group certainly developed the operating procedures and the application process based on the Guam statutes, because at that time, we only had the statutes and we didn't have much of anything else. The CICC held its first hearing on April 8, 2016. And then since then, and there may have been already discussions during the other commission hearings, we did receive about 189 applications and have awarded about 95 of those. And the approximate cost that I've seen in regards to the award that we've submitted so far have been around $680,000. Now, the commission members come certainly from different backgrounds, and each contributes to providing an objective perspective and making decisions in each case that is presented. And although a medical background is not necessary to be part of the CICC membership, it certainly, again, has been helpful in being able to provide a greater insight on the injuries that victims have suffered, which can have an impact on how we certainly award the applicants. And my goal in becoming a physician has, again, always been to provide healing. And certainly when individuals are victimized, there are physical and emotional injuries that they have to live with. And the CICC, we recognize, is not able to resolve the results of the trauma endured but certainly we can be a part of that healing process. And I think by acknowledging their injury and certainly compensating them based on the guidelines of the statute, certainly we can do that. And so again, being part of the CICC is another way that I feel like I contribute to the healing of our island community. And so I'm going to end with that. Thank you again for accommodating me. I know that originally the goal was to try and get this done at about 9, but again, busy schedule. And again, I appreciate the opportunity to be able to present.
Thank you very much, Dr. Flores. And again, thank you so much for being present today, making time in your schedule. And I apologize for the inconvenience of it, but we do hope to get your confirmation on the next session agenda, which is going to be, our session begins on Friday, and hopefully we will vote by next Friday. So we would hope to get any action that this commission does to be very firm, that all the members are confirmed. So again, thank you. And thank you. It's really incredible. 15 years of service on this commission. And as you said, you can't address all the harm that has been done to these victims, but you are doing for all of us part of that work in the healing, and I very much appreciate it. I appreciate you and all the commission members. And thanks again. Polly Mike discussed earlier this morning how you and Ms. Mendiola had really been the ones to establish, everything that needed to be set up in this commission. And so I want to thank you for that extra work as well, that it was not an easy job walking into and following what had been already set up. So thank you again for that. I'm going to ask you just a couple questions to put on the record. First of all, do you have any continuing business that may be a conflict of interest for you to continue as a member of the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission?
No, not at this time.
And you've been able to attend the meetings, obviously, for 15 years. Do you foresee that will be an issue in the upcoming term?
Not at this point. And again, with trying to deal with this pandemic, we've been able to utilize technology, certainly in ways that we probably didn't have or recognize before. So utilizing this, and again, I can't underestimate the staff, and certainly I'm grateful really for them. I think they are the ones that really make the commission as the members we review, but they really are the ones that do the background work that they don't always get the thanks for. And again, I appreciate that their ability for the whole group to accommodate my schedule. So for that, I am thankful, and I don't foresee any issues with the scheduling at the moment.
All right, thank you. Dave, the Attorney General's office representatives, they've described in an earlier hearing how it takes time even before the meeting for you to review the files and to review their analysis, and so it's a lot more work that goes into it than just the hours that are spent during the meetings themselves. So, you've been on this commission for 15 years now, and I just want to encourage you, if you could suggest, any additional changes to the law that you think are necessary or would further assist victims. And so Polly Mike described earlier that you as a commission have been able to process claims pretty much within 30 days, and that's excellent. But if there's any other impediment that you feel to bringing, healing to these victims, we are open for all your recommendations and suggestions, especially people with experience like each of you.
Go ahead. Sorry. We have
ahead.
certainly discussed a few things that need to be kind of worked out with the statutes, but again, I don't have that legal sort of background, and I kind of lean towards our legal staff to kind of assist with that. So I'm sure that they can provide additional recommendations in regards to the statutory amendments that, in working out each of the applications, there's always a little bit of a nuance that could be better, again, dealt with if our statutes had a few changes to it. But we understand that requires a whole other entity component. So.
All right. Well, we're open to that, and I don't think it's as difficult as all of that. We can definitely work with you. So thank you, Polly. Mike, we'll look forward to those suggestions. I'm going to open it now to the panel, beginning with Minority Leader Senator Cruz.
Madam Speaker, and Dr. Flores, thank you once again with your busy schedule for accepting the governor's excellent nomination of yourself. Thank you for providing the historical background in terms of all of your journey through this endeavor. And in absolute due respect to your time, I have no questions, and I just want to say you have my full support. And I think the picture in your background explains exactly who you are. And I've been enjoying that as I've watched your testimony, because definitely Jesus is the true healer. Blessed Deus Masi, and certainly you have my support.
Senator Duenas. Senator Ada, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, Madam Chair. Dr. Flores, thank you again. This is your third governor you're going through as a commission member, and it just shows the compassion that you have. And I just look forward to you serving again on the board, and you have my full support. Thank you, Dr. Flores, for all that you do.
Senator Ada. Senator Brown, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Certainly very impressed with the contribution that Dr. Flores is making, and just aside from the responsibility she has as a medical doctor to serve on the Criminal Injuries Compensation Committee. Of course, as we talked earlier this morning with the other nominees, I mean, the challenges that these victims have had to go through to come to the commission, and then certainly the commission to review their cases and hopefully give them just compensation for what they've gone through. It's not an easy job, but certainly one that's needed, and one that certainly provides additional support and hopefully eases some of the burden these victims in our community have been through. For purposes of disclosure, Dr. Flores is my doctor, so I certainly know her from that side, and she's certainly a wonderful physician. I think she's been my doctor since she worked at SDA, and it's been a number of years. So I can say firsthand in terms of her profession, her demeanor, and how she contributes to the community. I think it's commendable. And we certainly appreciate, Dr. Flores, your desire to continue to serve. I mean, sometimes the busiest people, they get challenged with more work to do, but the work you do is very important all around. So I don't have any questions, but I certainly want to thank you again for your contribution and your continued service, and also to all the members of our community here that have come to testify on your behalf, and also on behalf of your other fellow nominees that were on the agenda this morning. I think we are appreciative of the work that you do. There's parts of our society that are not the most enjoyable, and things that we wish we could see better in our community, but certainly the work you're doing to help ease some of that burden is something that's very valued by us. So thank you for your continued service to our community. With that, Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to provide comment.
Thank you, Senator Brown. Senator Taitigui, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Dr. Flores, for, deciding to stay in your busy schedule. Greatly appreciate it. My door is always open if there's any concerns or assistance that I can provide for you. One thing that you mentioned earlier, which I thought was very good, was the fact that you recognize the staff, and all the hard work that they're doing. That was very commendable of you to do that, because it does. It takes more than just a person. It takes a village. And I commend you for recognizing them, and thank you for reminding us about that. I appreciate it. I wish you the very best. And again, my door is always open to you. Congratulations, and you have my support. Thank you, Dr. Flores.
Thank you again to all those who've testified, and Dr. Flores. Is there any other comment you would like to make before we conclude the hearing? Dr. Flores?
No, not at this time.
All right, thank you. Again, so there being no further testimony, I would just like to thank you very much for your continued willingness to serve on this commission, for the time that you and all the members put in, for the healing that you bring to the victims of crime on Guam, and for your continued advocacy for amendments to the law that would further serve these victims. There being no further testimony, we will now consider the appointment of Dr. Lisa Flores to serve as a member of the Criminal Injuries Compensation Commission duly heard. It is 10:57 a.m. and this committee is adjourned.